I've tested out the Lancôme and the Elizabeth Arden holiday sets for 2019. If you want to hear my comparison of both sets, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, we are talking holiday sets. I have the Elizabeth Arden set and I have the Lancôme set, and we're going to talk about both, comparing and contrasting, and I can give you my thoughts about which one might be the best depending on what it is that you care about most in a holiday set. So let's address one thing right off the hop. When it comes to the package, the gift train case or purse or makeup bag that you get in a holiday set, that is really personal preference. In this case this year, Elizabeth Arden has more of a purse-like makeup bag, and then Lancôme has more of a train case for use in your beauty room or in your closet or any of those types of uses. And so they're fundamentally different, but I have to say they are both beautiful. The Elizabeth Arden has one large compartment on top and then a compartment that zips all the way around on the bottom. And when I did do my video on Elizabeth Arden specifically, I did talk about this compartment being great for those after evening shoes, those comfortable shoes that you want to wear maybe after you've been wearing your heels all evening. That's a perfect compartment to house them without having them in the main compartment that you might have your wallet, your makeup bag, and that kind of thing. I really think that this is a nice bag, as is the train case from Lancôme. The train case from Lancôme also has two compartments, one below, one above. The one above houses a very large mirror. I can show you. And here we go. So you can see that there's a large, now I'm blinding you. And you can tell I'm already making very good use of that train case for storing my extras. And I did get both of the train cases. This is a matte version from Lancôme, and there's also the glam version, which is black as well, but more of a patent leather train case. So both of these sets have a very nice bag or case associated with them, and I give them equal score on that point. It's just a matter, like I said, of your personal preference. And when it comes to cost, they are also extremely comparable, which is why I enjoyed comparing them last year and am very happy to be comparing them again this year. Both purchases are purchase with purchase. So the idea is that you get the opportunity to buy the value set at a great discount if you buy a product from the brand. Now for Lancôme, the value set was available at $90 if you made a minimum $50 purchase of Lancôme products. And Lancôme was saying that the value of the set retail value of the set was $615. Now if you look at my initial Lancôme video, you will see, I'll put it right there, you will see that there's no way I thought it was $615. I would much rather compare to the price that I paid for the set as opposed to the price they suggest, because to me, a value set, you don't get to pick what goes into it. Also, the packaging is not like the regular packaging of their products throughout the year. And so to compare the products to what you would buy off the shelf individually, there's no comparison. The packaging is different. You don't get to select the products that go in, and in some cases, the quality of the product is not the same. For example, often the eyeshadows will not be on par with what they would normally have for their regular products throughout the year. So I covered Lancôme. Now what about Elizabeth Arden? You'll notice the prices are very, very comparable. Elizabeth Arden was $88 for the purchase with purchase if you purchased $48 worth of Elizabeth Arden products. So 90 and 50, 88 and 48 Canadian, they are so close. It's really hard to say that one is more costly than the other. They're virtually the same. And when it came to Elizabeth Arden, their value was identified as 564. So one of them said 615, the other one said 564. Again, let's just say they're over 500 as far as their estimated retail value, estimated value for what these comparable sets would be worth. So from that perspective, I didn't really see a difference between the two. So now we can get into the nitty-gritty for both brands. And really, I think the best way to go about it is by product category. If you are looking for skincare, the Lancôme set is superior, and I'm going to explain why. It has 3 products. It has the Génifique Serum, the Génifique Full Size Eye Cream, and it also has the Bifacil Eye Makeup Remover, which I'm going to call skincare just for the purposes of this video. When it comes to the Elizabeth Arden set, there are 60 ceramide capsules, which would be 2 months worth of product of one type, which is their serum. So if you are a skincare aficionado, the Lancôme set is probably going to be your best bet as far as overall value and usefulness of the set. When it comes to the makeup products in the kits in general, I would say volume-wise, they are comparable, although there are some less, some more in the respective kits depending on the product type. The one big benefit from Lancôme at this point is that it has a cool set and a warm set. So if you really have a distinct preference for one or the other, then you can have more of the colors that will suit your specific type of or preference of eye and lip makeup. So, and a little bit of face products as well that are more cool or warm. When it comes to Elizabeth Arden, there are some cool and warm options, but they're all in the same kit. Let's go over all of the products available. In the Elizabeth Arden set, there are 4 lipsticks, and in the Lancôme set, there are 3 lipsticks, and the 3 lipsticks that you will receive depends on whether you pick the Glam, which is the cool toned, or the Glow, which is the warm toned. Both sets of lipsticks are absolutely full size, nice looking lipsticks, and the Lancôme are 4 grams each, and the Elizabeth Arden are 3.5 grams each. So let me show you one of each. This is one of the Lancôme lipsticks. And this is one of the Elizabeth Arden lipsticks. Now, one of the comments is when it comes to red lipsticks, very often the red lipstick included in the sets are repeats from previous years. So just keep that in mind if you are buying another set from the same brand year after year. And when it comes to the packaging itself for the lipstick, I really appreciate the bling of the Elizabeth Arden. It's definitely a cheap version of their preferred packaging, but the name is on it. And the Lancôme is plastic. There is the logo on the top. But I have to say that I don't mind the black lipstick container because to me it's sleek, it looks good, and it doesn't show fingerprints quite as much as this one. But to me, they're a wash. I enjoy both of them. One thing of note is that this year Elizabeth Arden did not include glosses in the kit, which they did have last year. So that is a minus for the kit this year if lip products are really what you go for in holiday sets. But Elizabeth Arden did make up for that missing couple of glosses with some makeup brushes. So they put in 3 makeup brushes in the kit this year. And I was a big fan, or am a big fan, of this blush brush because it is quite large, very nice in the hand. I do also like this angled shader brush. I thought it was really good. And the third brush in the set to me is a dud. It is not very useful. It is way, way, way too sleek. On the side, it's supposed to be, I think, a packer brush, but at most, I think it would be a concealer brush. And there is no concealer that comes in the set. So if you are a concealer brush user, this may be of use to you. It just didn't happen to be for me, but 3 brushes is not a bad substitute for losing out the glosses, assuming that these are of value to you. Now, Lancôme also came out with a brush. This year was a brush year. I'm not sure why. And this is a double-ended brush. So this is actually a shader brush that is much better than the third brush I showed you from Elizabeth Arden, but out of these 2 brushes, this angled brush and the eyeshadow tip from the Lancôme brush, I prefer the Elizabeth Arden brush. And when it comes to the blush brush, I also prefer the Elizabeth Arden brush, which is this one right here. This is the Lancôme. I think you'll see that this brush is more substantial and could even be used as the single brush for powder, bronzer, blush. I think highlight would be a bit of a stretch, but I do think that Elizabeth Arden did a better job with the brush selection in this year's set. Well, compared to Lancôme, obviously, because they did not have brushes the previous year. One thing I forgot to mention is that along with the lip product, Elizabeth Arden also had a lip pencil. And the lip pencil is quite nice. It is called Naked Nymph, and I am wearing it right now with last year's gloss on top. And this is what it looks like. I really like it. I have worn it twice, if not more, as my lipstick, just lining and filling my lips in with this lip pencil, and I really like it. To me, it's as if I received another lipstick, so I was very happy with that. And I'm also okay with the black liner, which is smoky black, and it is, though, much smaller than the Lancôme pencil, which is about this long. I don't have it anymore. I did pass it on to a girlfriend because I can only use so many black liners, and a smaller liner was all that I needed. I think I have a half a dozen black liners of this type in my collection. I wanted to just pass on the other one. However, Le Crayon Colle from Lancôme is very nice. I have no problem with it. It is the longest, biggest kohl liner I think that I've ever seen, and I think it's perfectly fine. Would I pay $30 for it? Probably not, but it is a nice addition in the Lancôme set. Okay, now let's talk palettes. The Elizabeth Arden set comes with 3 palettes. It's the one set, cool and warm combined, and there are 3 palettes. In the Lancôme set, there is 1 palette in the warm and 1 palette in the cool, but they are different. Let's start with the Elizabeth Arden set, with the easiest one being the highlighter. It is very dusty and powdery, but I think it's part of why it looks so good on the skin. I'm wearing it today, and I have used this highlighter multiple times, even when I was doing videos that had nothing to do with holiday sets. I am a big fan, and it is called the Rose Quartz highlighter or illuminator, depending on what you would like to call it. Very impressed with this highlighter, and the eyeshadows from Elizabeth Arden are made in Italy. And the components and shadows or highlighters, powders, I guess, are combined or are assembled in the People's Republic of China, in case it makes a difference for you. Now, I do like that it is plastic packaging, very durable, and it has a very, very nice design on it this year, very much as it did have a very nice design on the packaging last year. Now we have the day and the evening palettes, and you will see that they have a nice design that goes together. So it shows that it is kind of a complete set. The names are on the back, and you'll see that there are 8 shadows and 1 blush. This palette is the evening palette, and there is a mirror. This is what they look like. Of course, I'm holding it upside down. 4 lighter shadows, 4 deeper shadows, and a blush. This one is the blush out of the 2 that I like, and if anything, I would say that this is the better palette out of the 2. And each one, day palette, night palette, has some cool and warmer options. A standout is definitely this one right here, which is called Crema. Really, really enjoyed that one. It's kind of like a shimmery topper. So I like the component. The shadows are okay. I will say that the shadows are better than last year. They are more pigmented than last year, and the color assortment, I would think, is much better. Now let's talk about the day palette. Same kind of construction, same kind of idea. The Rosemantic blush, which the Rosemantic and the Sunburst blush was peachy gold and a rose, dusty rose, same thing as last year, but this Rosemantic blush, and I'm hoping you can see the color, is not pigmented, does not show up. It is a little bit weird. Even after rubbing it with my finger to try to get into the product, it still doesn't pick up very much on the brush, no matter which brush I'm using. And these colors are somewhat lackluster. The best look with this palette that I came up with were mostly using these colors down here. I did do a look with this one and it was quite lackluster. And up here, I would say that all of them were fine. I did use all of them. I even used this one to set my eye primer one day, and they were fine, but I just don't care for this purple right here. If you like Your Eyes But Better, then this palette might work well for you, except for the purple. Now let's turn our attention to Lancôme. The Lancôme packaging is very nice, but it is, I won't say but, it is cardboard packaging, and I do wonder how the textured exterior is going to fare over the long term. That is the only thing. I think that the palette could start looking worn, old, sooner than the Elizabeth Arden packaging. I do enjoy that little rose logo on the edge, and also the fact that it is very clear, glam or glow, which one of the two you are using. But if you store the palettes together, let's say you do get both, you store the palettes together, it would be very hard just at a glance to determine which one it is, and maybe even just a different color of rose would have been useful in determining whether you were using or reaching for the warm or the cool. But that said, unless you're planning on buying both the glow and the glam, I don't think that's really going to be a major consideration for you. And I have to say, I may not have ended up buying both this year if I had known that there were two. I saw the glam, I was super excited that it was available and I picked it up, and discovered the glow after the fact, and then ended up going back to Shoppers Drug Mart and getting it with points. This is the glam version. There are 10 eyeshadows and 2 blushes, 1 warm, 1 cool. And as you can see, even though it is the cool toned palette, there are quite a few options that would be at least neutral, if not slightly warm. And so I think that this is very usable for a lot of people, and the kind of purpley reds are in makeup fashion, I guess, right now, and there are enough neutrals that you can do a lot of regular daytime looks with it. This palette was an absolute joy to use. All, and I mean all, the eyeshadows and the blushes performed beautifully. It is a gem of an eyeshadow palette. I normally pass on eyeshadow palettes from holiday kits. I am keeping these, both of them. So let me show you the glow. This is the glow version, as you saw earlier, very similar, and you'll see that it does indicate it on the back, glow. This one has a deeper bronzy peach blush and also a light blush here as well. I'm very happy with both. This one is a little bit more neutral than the blush in the Glam palette, but really love it. Lovely, very, very lovely. The Glam palette makes me think of the Cranberry palette by Natasha Denona and the Modern Renaissance by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This one makes me think of the Natasha Denona Gold palette, definitely. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else it makes me think of, but really the Natasha Denona palette is what it's making me think of. I did a fantastic look with these, actually 2 looks now, with these colors, and they were absolutely beautiful. Today's look, I am using these 2 primarily. Crease and outer lid and outer lower lash line, and this one inner to center lid, and I think that the look turned out beautifully. Also used this one on the brow bone. I love these eyeshadows, and there's a reason I chose these eyeshadows for the look today, and I also did use this blush as my blusher today. As mentioned before, I used the highlighter from the Elizabeth Arden set, and the bronzer was from Tarte. So there's no bronzer in this kit, so I just supplemented. Very, very happy with this look, no question. Now, I did pass on the Grand Entrance mascara by Elizabeth Arden. I think it is a very good mascara. The only problem that I have is that the wand does not suit my eye. I end up poking myself in the eye, and I really wished that weren't the case because I really enjoyed the mascara and what it did for my lashes, but eye safety first. So I passed this one on this year to my hairdresser, actually. Hello, Janelle. And it's like I said, I told her it's a beautiful mascara, gave her the caution of what what my experience is with it, and hoping that she does not have the same problem. And like I said, I'm not poo-pooing the mascara. It was not a fit for me, but the quality of the mascara is very good. And the packaging is beautiful. This is one of the 2 mascaras from the Lancôme set. They are both full size, just as the Grand Entrance is. This one is the volumizing. The other one, and it comes with the Glam, so the cool toned kit. Définicile is what comes with the warm toned kit, and it is more of a defining and lengthening mascara, but I like both of them and appreciate the wand on both of them, and I do not have a favorite. I usually like thickening and volumizing mascaras, but having tried both, I really like both. If you are big on makeup and you also like a lash primer, the Lancôme set does come with their Cils Booster XL, which is a lash primer. So you get a full-size mascara and you get a full-size lash primer as well. So those are some considerations there. So for lip products, Elizabeth Arden provides you more. If you are bigger on eye makeup, then Lancôme definitely offers more as far as product and also quality of product. And so despite the fact that Elizabeth Arden offers you 16 shadows and 2 blushes, and Lancôme offers you 10 eyeshadows and 2 blushes, and Elizabeth Arden offers the highlighter. I'm not going to poo-poo that. The quality overall that you are getting for eye makeup and powder products in general is better with the Lancôme set. Lips and face, Elizabeth Arden. All aspects of eye makeup, Lancôme. Tools, Elizabeth Arden. Skincare, Lancôme. As I mentioned at the beginning, when it comes to the train case or purse makeup bag, I can't speak to which one you would pick. It's absolutely a matter of personal preference, although I don't think that that would be a deciding factor for the holiday set. I think that what is inside is a lot more important. In my view, for my purposes, I am big on eye makeup and skincare. And out of the two, Lancôme covers me really, really well for eye makeup and skincare. The Elizabeth Arden set is, like I said before, is better with the lip products and the makeup tools, but that is not my absolute focus. So my preference personally is one of the two Lancôme sets. And I think both are equally good. They're both very, very good sets. And I do compare and contrast them if you want to see in this video. So that's really it. It really depends on what you care about in either set. They are extremely comparable price-wise, content-wise, across categories. They're just both stronger and weaker in specific areas. That's all I can offer. I wish you luck with your last little bit of holiday shopping. I do hope this video was of use. I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments. Do you have some opinions, some things that I didn't cover that might be helpful for other people? Please, please, please let me know. Let us know. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time. And I do look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.